Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about two things that I know all of you have in your house. Water and ice. So as most of you know, when water freezes, it turns into ice. So that means that it's actually turning from a liquid, water is a liquid, right? It moves, it takes the container, it takes the shape of whatever container it's in, it can flow, be poured, spilled, but whenever you freeze it, that means it gets colder and colder and colder, it turns into an ice cube. Now, as you can tell, the ice cube is different because it can hold its own shape, right? If I put it into a container, there's still little ice cubes. They're not like a liquid, and they're hard, right? So what we are going to do is we're going to try to turn the ice cubes back into a liquid. So from a solid to a liquid using heat. So from liquid to solid, it freezes, and from solid to liquid, it needs to melt. So as most of you know, if you take a drink outside or you leave it out for too long and you have ice in it, the ice is going to melt. So anything above 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's pretty cold, right? It's going to melt ice. And so if it's really, really hot outside, the ice is going to melt faster. But we are going to look at how do colors affect ice in the sun. So we know that the sun is hot, right? The heat from the sun is going to melt the ice. But now I have these colors. So I've colored construction paper or any sort of colors that you can find. And we're going to see how maybe the different colors that they're on is going to affect how fast the ice melted.
So here's the data sheet that I created. So I put my question at the top: how do colors affect ice in the sun? So then I have my prediction little data table right here. I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I picked 6 colors: black, blue, green, yellow, red, and white. You can pick different colors if you have different colors. Those are the ones I picked, and from there you're going to label them 1 through 6 based on which one do you think will melt the ice first and last. So if I think that the red looks hot, so it's going to melt it first, I'm going to do 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll go from there. And then you'll have your other data table where you can do your actual finding. Okay, so a couple things about the setup. So the first thing you need is obviously construction paper. You can use full sheets, or you can do what I did and kind of like cut little strips where one ice cube can fit. It's up to you. Obviously you need ice cubes. The ice cubes need to be roughly the same size. Make sure there's no pieces missing out of them, things like that. And then I would suggest, you obviously need sunlight, but when these are outside, I suggest either having, like I taped these down for one of them that I did, taping them down or putting some sort of rock or something to hold them down. Because once the ice cubes get really light, they will, the papers will start kind of ruffling up if there's even a little bit of wind. So I suggest something to hold them down, and that's it.
So it's going to depend, your results are going to depend on what kind of colors you used, what materials they were on, all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, what should have happened is what happens is the sun is absorbed more by certain colors and reflected or bounces off by other colors. So darker colors like the blue and the black are pretty dark. And so this means that kind of like when you wear a dark shirt in kindergarten, you know through the experiment that dark colors absorb the heat, so they get hotter faster. And so that means that the ice cube is going to melt faster because it is hotter or warmer on the paper. And with the lighter colors, maybe like yellow or white, it's going to reflect, especially the white is going to reflect a lot of light. So the paper is going to stay a cooler temperature. And so it's going to melt a lot slower than the black. Now the colors in the middle all kind of depend. It all depends on your experiment. So I know with one of mine, I had some of my ice cubes were almost like hollow on the inside, just how they were built and how they froze. And so obviously with less mass or less kind of weight and material, those ice cubes are going to melt a little bit faster than the other ones. But in both scenarios that I did them, the black did melt first and then the white did melt last, even if it seemed like it wasn't. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I'd love to hear how your results went and what colors melted fastest and slowest for yours.